Here we go again. I do have to log into TikTok apparently before I can go live on TikTok, so you need to wait a second. There's always something going on. I thought I had everything ready for usual. So let's see my QR code. Otherwise I can't see your chat messages. And that's not nice. Let's see. I think we have everything working now, except all the cookies and stuff. And then we will make it a bit bigger because I'm also blind. So if I don't see anything. And then we are ready to continue the forever project we have going on, which is this one, my very favorite project. I have decided to ditch the Finnish modesty, and I'm gonna say that this is the best piece I've ever made. So yep, we are going to continue making it. And yeah, the basics are I'm using cotton yarn, lightweight. This one is super fine French cotton 8/4 from Hobby. The very, very, very basic. So this is very affordable way of doing art. I'm gonna say that I ordered way too much yarn for this project because I knew it was big, and it is big, but it's not a yarn eater, which means that we are kind of fine when it comes to cost. And I'm gonna say that it's around 35 to 40 euros for all of the yarn that I'm gonna use here, because I'm gonna be left with a lot of yarn as well, as I ordered the yarn based on the stitch count for each color, and I kind of purposefully overestimated the amount of yarn I need, because I didn't want to end up with different shades, and I've never done a project like this, so it was very hard to estimate the amount of yarn needed to have this done. So yeah, but better, I'm one of those people that think that it is better to have too much than too little yarn, so that's the philosophy I live by. And because we are doing these kind of projects in the future as well, I can always use the leftover with those. And then I love doing projects, like a bit more random projects with leftover yarns. I have one piece coming with a completely randomized yarn selection, which means that we are doing a project that has all the leftovers I have at the moment, and therefore the colors are crazy, but I like it. And I've been doing a different project during week. I'm making a 5-day cardigan, which is an oversized cardigan for my daughter, that is made with very bulky yarn and size 6 hook. So I'm testing out if you can make a cardigan in 5 days even though you work full time. And now we have a 4 days in a row. I have days off for all 4 of them, and I'm gonna do this project because I want it ready for Christmas, as this is a Christmas present. And I have 4 days. Today is the first one, so today, tomorrow, Sunday and Monday we're gonna be live every single day. And I'm gonna just push myself to have this. I think I want to reach the row 200 within these 4 days, which means that I have to do like 50 rows, and it will take quite a lot of hours. The project hours are gonna be around 80 to 90 for the whole project, so it takes a lot of time. We are reaching the halfway point today for the whole project, and well, because I have done and I will do other projects while I'm doing this, it means that not every day this is done. I don't have the mental stamina to do the same thing every day, so therefore I change projects quite often, and I also start new ones whenever I get a motivational boost. I bought some yarn from Aldi actually. They had some of them left and they were reduced, so I bought them all. Okay, not all. The colors were not to my liking, but I bought all the black and gray ones. I already made a hood, like a skull neck hood for my younger one, because the air is getting colder outside, especially in the mornings, and she requested a hood that can be put down, not a beanie person, so therefore I made the hood. That only took me 1 day to make, so it was very nice project, in between project. And now I do have to make a few of them for her friends as well. And they also have a line of orders that do not bring any money in, because that's not why I do this, but I also have to do some leg warmers for the girls. The group is very enthusiastic about my creations, which is nice. I love it. They keep me busy. And they actually use the things I do, which is also nice. So I don't do them for nothing, because I don't like that. I like my pieces to be used, to be seen, to be washed, to be reworn, and so on. So let's put a project camera as well for you, so you can see what I'm doing. Not just me, even though I'm nice to look at, I think. Ow. We are doing right to left only, so right side up. The right side of the work is up all the time. And what else? We're doing back loop only, as when I was doing the test pieces, I noticed that this is the look I like the most, and not the best for all the tapestry projects. For this one, yes. Oh, but I like, yeah, that's it, because it's nice when people appreciate your work, you know? But also, like, I make these to be used, and I know, like, some people give a bit too much sentimental value for the items, and then they just keep them, store them, to make sure nothing happens to them, which is fine, I guess, but I can always make you another one, you know? If it gets ruined one way or another or lost, I can make another one. That's the beauty of it. It's not like it's a unique piece, but it's a unique piece created by me, so I can always recreate it. So if you need another one, I just do it for you. So there's no need to save and preserve the stuff I do. And it's always a rule, like when I do things and the kids wear them, if somebody wants to buy them, they can. I can just make them another one. They are always free to sell the things they're wearing. For example, the crochet tops I made for my older daughter that were very trendy last summer, and hopefully next as well. You are always, like, you know, an interest for her friends and people in Instagram and stuff, so they are always for sale, you know, and I just make another one. And this piece as well, like, it's not impossible to recreate it. I don't know if I want to recreate it though. It might be a bit boring on the second time around, but it's possible. So there's no need to try to preserve it in any way. Just hang it out, and if the sun ruins it or anything like that, we just then I just make another one if it's important enough to do that. And I love to do this. I actually need a bobbin of white for this one because it's gonna continue upwards. We'll take this one. There's like a stretch of white going to this piece, so this white piece here is gonna go upwards, so that's why I am attaching a separate bobbin of yarn here to stay in place until that white stripe here is finished, so I don't have to cut the yarn every round, because I'm a bit lazy when it comes to that. If I can avoid cutting the yarn, I will. Stay in place. That's the place. Thank you. Now also don't get mad if the pieces I've made get destroyed one way or another. It's not like, it's not mine anymore if I give it away. You can do whatever you want and need to do with it. And if something happens, then it happens. To adjust the light a bit closer because I'm blind. It's the black one. I made a design for the next one and I wanted to have a bit darker theme for that one, so I did a picture and then I realized I'm never gonna make it because it had fully black background, and then I was testing out if I could make it with like maybe a dark gray background or something like that, but it didn't look the same. But crocheting, especially like these small pieces with black yarn, is a nightmare, to be honest. There's never enough light. I have to pay so much attention. It might be my eyes only, so if you don't have the problem, good, I do. And it was actually this project that made me realize that I might have a problem when it comes to the black yarn. I usually don't do much black projects, or if I've done something with black, it's been more bulky, so it, you know, it hadn't mattered so much. I have another white streak coming, so I will also take a leftover for that one. So I can keep going up without cutting the yarn. Oh, we're also doing yarn under. I don't know if I remember to say that, but if you didn't notice, that's what we're doing. The difference between yarn under and over with this project is minimal, so I don't know if it really matters, but that's how I started and that's how we'll keep going. Yellow, which will be this yellow, right? I have 3 different yellows in this project, so I will always have to check a little bit of what we're doing. This white yarn is not in use at the moment, so I will cut it out. Put the yellow in. I love these yarns because they have the center pull so easily, so I don't have like bouncing balls of yarn everywhere. They just stay in place, and I have the center pull here, so just so easy. So organized. I look organized even though I am not an organized person. This makes me look like I'm super organized and I have my shit together, which is a nice lie for this one. Four black ones. Also expecting a package, so if it arrives I will jump out for just a little bit. It's funny when the app says that should arrive before 8 p.m. today, but there's no further information, so it can be any time between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Basically, you never know. It's been a nice change with the letters I'm doing, because the color is the same all the way through. It gives me an idea how fast one could make like a craft gun or something with just 2 colors. You know, you don't have any extra changes. So sometimes I'm dream of doing that, just with 2 colors. I think it would be nice. I'm also waiting for restock for this yarn, because there's a couple of colors missing I need for the future project. So if Hobby is listening, I really need that cherry black for my next one. Like, I really need it. I've been waiting for a couple of weeks. Usually they restock very fast. The black was out as well, but now the black is back, but the cherry one is still not. And I couldn't find an alternative. A black color with a red tint to it is what I need. This is too long to float, so I'm gonna cut the black yarn and reattach it to this new spot. Also have to go yarn shopping during weekend because I'm running out of the black one. Like I said, I ordered the yarn based on the stitch count, but when I ordered, I didn't realize at that point how much I'll be floating the black with me. So basically you float the black all all the way through the work. And there's not too many, there's far less black stitches than white ones. So I ordered half amount of black compared to the white one, but that was actually a little bit of a mistake. I should have ordered more black than white actually, because well, the black just goes through whole work, even though there's not so many stitches as with the white one, but because the white one is on the edges of the work, you don't float it, so you actually use the white yarn for the stitches, whilst the black yarn is carried with you through the whole work. So even though there's no stitches, you're still using the yarn a lot. So I will have to go and buy more black. I'm also determined not to let my coffee go cold this time. I just completely forget it when I reach the flow state of the work. Like this, I float the black one here all the way there, so I'm not doing any stitches, but I'm still using the yarn. So it surprised me how much it's eating the black one. I also need yet another white one. I have the end of the skeins going around. Which I will use when I have a spot of color that will not continue throughout the work. And the orange. Need to move the graph. Don't have many rows left for the orange flower anymore, so it's getting ready already. So just like 5 rounds more and then it's done, and then we will fully start the lettering part of the fleet wood. So the MAC is on the way already, but the fleet wood just started the F, and then we will go. Then we will have more black and yellow, and that is also why I have to go and purchase more black to be able to have the 200 rows ready, which is what I promised myself I'll do during these days, following 4 days. 1 and 2 black at this point. So I have to give myself some motivation when it comes to this, so that I can actually have it ready. I do like doing this, but my brain just wants some other things to do in the meanwhile, so that's why I started the cardigan, which is free-handed. I don't have any instructions for it. I just saw a picture and I counted the stitches and estimated the size of the yarn and the hook used, and I'm just gonna try and make one myself. And winging it is kind of my style of doing things. Don't know if it's the best one, and always the result is not what I want, but it makes sure that I learn things all the time. And I try to test the limits of my own creativity and knowledge, just who I am. Christmas is coming. I have one Christmas project going on. It's the Christmas tree design, which is very simplistic. And I'm still gonna make the towels and the table runner and pot holders. That's just on hold because I finished the pattern for it, so now it's just a manual labor to get the rows done for all of them. So it kinda a little bit stopped being interesting as well, so it's on break now. This is the F that starts the Fleetwood. So we have started it, the tip of it. And here it will be like an arc going from here to here within the round circle design this is based on, the whole design, so that's why it starts a bit earlier than the rest of the text. I've also been wondering lately if people that do this type of project, like more of an art project, if they somehow sign their work, if there's like a signature or something they put into their work. Just like a painting or stuff. That's just out of curiosity. I haven't seen any, but it doesn't mean anything when it comes to me. Might still be there. And this black one. And the white one. And then we have the first row done. Yay! And then we will do the cleanup, the knots, some tightening of the yarns that are going straight to next round. And then we are going directly to the next row and trying to be productive today in general. It's also Friday, so at some point I will have to go and buy some sweets. Maybe some cake today. Also have a nice white wine in my fridge waiting for me. It was the wine of the week last week at Aldi. Was a Riesling. Don't know, they are not fans of Riesling in Ireland because I find it hard to find at times. So when I saw it, I bought a bottle. If it's good, I'm gonna go back in and buy some for Christmas as well. So maybe we can have a wine-infused evening stream. Maybe tomorrow. I usually stream while the kids are at school, and that's just for the peace and quiet. Because they know, especially when I'm doing something, they know how to be demanding. Yeah, I have an accidental 4 days off, so I didn't request anything. Just the computer made the shifts this way, which I'm happy about. Very happy about, actually. The orange. I kinda needed it. I've done a lot of shifts lately. I've been picking up extra shifts. That's why I've been here a little less than usual. People have been sick. There's things going around at the moment, which is quite normal at this time of the year. Luckily, I've been good myself so far. The school have sent an emails about things going around, and unfortunately, which is my husband says it's fine, but there has been tuberculosis has been spotted in the school, so now they are having to test every student. They have the tests ready next week. Hopefully there's no more cases, but I'm happy to taking it seriously as well. The case was in my older daughter's class, but so far she hasn't reported any other kids getting sick, so that might be it. Just one person, hopefully. But that's the life when you have kids. Never know what's gonna be next. Those will all stay. The white will stay. This white will stay. And this will be fastened off. And then we are ready for the next round. The other side of this is still ugly. I don't like to look at it. It's good that we are only crocheting right side up, which means that we don't have to look at it. So I'll show you a little bit bigger picture so you can see where we are at the moment. Doesn't really fit on the screen very well, but you can see the circular design coming up and the flowers and the text now forming in the middle. So this is where we're at, and like I said, I am abandoning the modesty, and I'm telling you all, this is the best piece of work I've done in 20 years. So I am proud of it, and it's turning to be very, very, very pretty, which I like. I waited quite a long time to do any tapestry pieces. I saw them all over the internet, and I kind of wanted to do something small first, but you know, not everything goes according to plan always, so I ended up starting with a huge piece, which is fine as well, if you ask me. It's like taking up a challenge, which fits me quite well. Technically, this is not hard to do. Really, it isn't. The only thing it needs is a consistency within, like, consistency is maybe the wrong word as well. Like, you have to have some experience to do this so it stays even and nice all the way through the work. But we are just using single crochet here, so we're not using any complex stitches or techniques to do this. It is just a huge piece of work. We are changing colors the easiest way possible. No tricks there. It's just a huge piece of work. And my tension is honed within 20 years. So it's like the tension I have is consistent. So if this is, if you have experience maybe just a couple of months, I would say that it might not turn up as even as mine, but you could still do it. The hardest part is to realize that it will take hours and hours and hours and hours, and you just have to show up, basically. And maybe some attention to details. There's a lot of colors and color changes, so you really need to focus on the graph you're following so that your color changes are in correct places and you don't miss any rows or stuff like that. But it's not an impossible art form only made for professionals. You can do this. I can promise that. Do we still have a mic? I accidentally hit it. Yes, we do. Also need to download a new playlist because I am getting sick of this music. But because we are also live in YouTube, we need to have a copyright-free music playing or not music at all, and I cannot talk non-stop. Sometimes my brains need to focus on what I'm doing, and then the silence would be weird, to be honest. This is the part where the black one is like with the dominant color, and I am having a hard time making sure I catch every stitch because it's hard to see them. I don't know if it's like especially this yarn and or the size of the stitches, but I've been finding this very hard. Also, the work is getting bigger and a bit heavier, so I just have to do it on the table because I can't keep up the work anymore. It's too hard for the hands. And to be honest, this is really not a project to do in the corner of your sofa anyway, because you have so many yarns attached. Like I have now. Can show you this amount of yarn. There's a couple more on the left, the camera won't show it. So there's a lot of yarn going on, so you really can't. Or you can, but then you have to figure out a system to do that. I haven't figured out. It's fine to have a table project every once in a while. When we're not turning the work, it makes it a bit easier to control the colors and the skeins of yarn, so you are not tangled, because you don't have to change the order of the yarns. They will stay the same through whole work. So I can just put them in front of me and keep going. First did the test with the colors and the techniques. I was first going back and forth like normal, but that was even with 4 colors I tested, that was a lot of trouble to untangle the yarns after every turn. So I just gave up on that plan and moved to this one. I've also made a rule for the following 4 days that my computer and desk is not to be used by anyone else, so I don't have to clean up after me, so I can just leave them here, all the yarns and stuff, and pick it up again tomorrow, so I can meet the target I set for myself, by myself. But I just honestly, I don't want to say I want to get, you know, over it and just do it, but I do want to see this piece ready. And therefore I have committed myself for the following 4 days to focus on this project. A little more than the others. Initially, when I started this, I promised myself that I would do at least 1 row every day, but I have ditched that long ago. Because it was too much work to set it up and then, you know, put away again just for 1 row. So I stopped doing it. We are moving on to the upper part of the first letter, so we are going to... There's an M here, M, then there is an A, and then there is a C, which is taking form right now. So Mac, as in Fleetwood Mac. For me. And then we bring the orange back to play. The orange flower is so large and the orange is going through it. So we are reattaching the orange every round and be attaching it at the end of the flower. And I'm not freehanding this. I have the graph in front of me, but because it is so large and yet the things in it are so small, it makes no sense to attach it to the screen. I was trying to first show you where I was in the graph, but that made no sense whatsoever. Because it was impossible to follow it up. Especially in like mobile screen. I still have to find a way to block it. I was thinking about buying the blocking mats, but then I wouldn't have much use for them other than these. And if I don't do any more, it's just this. So I'm not sure if I want to purchase it. But I haven't decided yet. What am I doing? No, it was just one black one at this point. Yeah. I was trying to jump ahead. So if you have some creative ideas of blocking something this big, I'm happy to hear it. Like, how do you block Or do you? I do have to block this because this is made out of cotton, so I do have to give it some shape. And also because my tension is quite tight, it is not gonna just get to the nice shape without some help. The sun started to shine again. It was like very foggy, a little wet, but warm weather this morning. But it means that it's getting colder because the weather is getting brighter, which is funny, but that's how it goes in the winter. Another round done. Some cleanup, some coffee, and to the next round. Yellow will stay, white will stay, orange will not stay. That one we will cut and tie up. At some point I tried to conserve some yarn and cut shorter ends, but then I realized it really makes no difference because there's a lot of ends in this anyway. So trying to save a centimeter here or there makes no difference. So now I just leave them longer, especially because, as I said, I have extra yarn. Not too little, I actually have so much yarn, except the black one, that is not a problem in any way. And I'm doing the knots just to secure the ends. I'm not gonna weave them in at the end. That's the choice I've made for this particular piece. It's a wall hanging piece that will, well, as its name says, hang in the wall. So it won't be washed, won't be wearing, won't be subject to heavy use in any way, and therefore we will not be taking the extra steps of tying it up. If it was a blanket, I would have to come up with something else, but it's not, so we don't really care. Nobody's gonna see it. And if you wanna see it, what you gonna say about it? It's a piece of artwork. And this side is like the just as important as the white blank canvas on the other side of the painting, so we don't really care. Some coffee for me, which is cold, even though I promised I will not make it cold, but out of a very finished Moomin mug. The other side is like this. My mom usually sends us one mug at least once a year when a new one comes out. Or if the new one is not nice and we don't want it, one of the old ones. We're not collecting them. I know there's some people that do collect Moomin mugs and they try to find very rare ones and the prices can go to thousands. But we use these, so they are not collectibles. But still, it's a fine reminder of our background and one of the things we packed with us when we left Finland. Just a, you know, a little memory piece, reminder. Not too much, but something. I didn't take too many things. We didn't want to. So some, like, it felt very stupid when you have just a basic gear, for example, in your kitchen. So why would you move like pots and pans to another country? Because it's not free when you can just buy a new set, which you were probably needing anyway if you had old ones. So we didn't take too much with us when we came here. These ones we did. Next round. We're making good progress today. I'm determined. We'll make this happen. This is a fun technique from right to left only, or right side of the work only. You just have to remember that you are losing a stitch at the end, so you have to create one at the beginning to keep the work balanced and the line straight. I have to say that I didn't even realize you could make it this way before I delved into all the techniques people were using to pick something I really wanted, and I saw this one used by someone. She was making coasters or something like that, so she did that to have the fringes here, which she wanted to be part of the coaster, but I just I had other reasons to do it this way, but it works just as plain in the big work as it did on the small one. I like to make some calculations at the beginning of the row to make sure that I haven't missed anything, or mainly I haven't missed any stitches. But other than that, I usually just base my rounds to the previous ones. So I will check that this was yellow last round. Is it yellow this round as well, rather than counting, because there's a lot of stitches. Actually 260 stitches is the width of this work, so counting 260 every time is it's not really possible. It is possible, but I don't want to, and I don't know anyone who would want to. It's time for the... What am I doing? Trying to do half double crochets here, and that's because I did the cardigan with half double crochet. So the muscle memory wants to go back there. I did it yesterday, so... It's not that bad when you think about it. It's like, well, 260, yeah, it is. 300 rows, somewhere around 75,000 stitches. It's not impossible. The color changes made the progress a bit slower than what it would be if you make a project that size with just 1 or 2 colors. There's a lot of hours involved in this one, but big projects are my favorite because they have just this, they have different effect when they get ready. I'm so proud of them. I do like my smaller work as well, but the big ones are like, they are just more in every way. also researched a lot of color changing techniques, but at the end I realized that the difference is so small between them that it really makes no sense to use too much time to perfect the color changes, because especially in a work this big, the difference is not really, you can't really see it. Maybe in smaller ones, or if you use a yarn that is thicker, it will make more of a difference, but with this one it didn't, and I just chose to go with the basic color changes without any tricks. And so far when I look at this, I haven't regretted cutting that corner, if you can call it that. Just one black at this point, so let's take a step back. It's that one. So just one. And back to yellow. No, I'm starting a new black spot, so now I'm just trying to speed through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 yellow ones, and then we will start a new black spot, which I try to pass. That's what I mean by attention to details. You can trust your, like, I did yellow here last round, maybe I'll do it now too. No, you don't. We're moving on to the next phase. And now we do yellow until the end. Last round there wasn't any black in this spot. And therefore I was trying to, you know, reflect to that, and it was a mistake, which I luckily noticed, so no problem. We just unraveled a couple of stitches, which is good. Yeah, some small mistakes that I made early on, but I didn't fix those because I would have to unravel hours of work, which is not something I'm willing to do voluntarily if you cannot see the mistake in big picture. Move the graph so I can see what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to doing. 2 black ones. And bring back orange. Two black ones. No, just one black. I'm being a bit annoying now, so I might think I might have to get some more coffee after this round. Because I keep sabotaging myself for trying to rush it, and my brains don't keep up. Last leg of white. Still don't know if I'm using the fringes for something. They are on the sides of the work, which is not ideal, I think. And if I were to do this again, I would actually do this not from down to up. I would do left to right so that the fringes would be up and down, because then I could leave the fringes on the down and use the up fringes to whatever it's gonna be, how we're gonna hang this up. We could use those for, because the left and right fringes are basically a bit useless. So I don't know, I haven't got them or anything yet, because I want to see how they look when the thing is actually like done, because they might look good like that, so I just cut them to length and be happy with it, but not necessarily. So I don't have this entire thing figured out. I still have a lot of question marks when it comes to the final execution of this. But that is fine, if you ask me. You can have those question marks at this point and see when it's really done how it would look. But yeah, I could have easily turned the picture 90 degrees and then I could have... I don't have a friend for this yarn, so I can't actually do anything with it, but next round there will be another one, so then I can tie it. This will stay. These will stay, so I just tidied them up a little bit. And that is that round. We actually picked up the pace a little bit with this round. Let's see. Because there's not so many colors in this one, so it will take a little less time to, you know, get it actually done. Yeah, it's coming out very well. I have to say that. It's coming out very well. Now I will have a little bit of a break and you can watch a nice flowers while I'm gone. And we'll be back. I'll make myself a cup of coffee and then after that coffee we'll do some more rounds. And somebody sent me a text message. Yeah. Need to send money to my daughter. Normal, yes. Yeah, I'll be right back. See you shortly. Alrighty, now I have warm coffee again. And the first child is welcome back from school. So we have some time before the second one arrives home as well. And then we will quit and go for some Friday treat shopping. Because that's the way we do it. So we have a treat day on Fridays. Just to have a little treat after the week. Doesn't really apply to me because I could as well have work on weekends as well as on weekdays, but it's just a traditional way to transition from week to weekend. We used to have a Pizza Friday before, but now we usually use takeout during the very busiest day of our week, which will be Wednesday or Thursday depending on the week and my schedule at work, but it's made it a lot easier for us. Then during the weekend we have a grocery drop because I order all my groceries online, so I hate going to store. Also saves money because we don't buy any extra. So I do meal planning on Friday and meal prepping during the weekend. To ease up with the pressure during week. We all have a little bit different schedules, so it's easier to have food ready and we don't have too often time for a mutual dinner during week. So on the weekends we try to have a little bigger breakfast, pancakes or stuff like that with the whole family to make up for it. Hope the black yarn will last for the day because I will go tomorrow and make some new skeins, but I hope it will last. Again, I'm trying to make a half double crochet because I did that yesterday for the cardigan project. The muscle memory just tries to kick in. But this is just single crochet project, so At times I thought that I might have actually, that the next one I'm gonna do, I'm probably doing with half double crochet, just to have a bit thicker end result. There's not much, you don't really see through much when it comes to this, but at times, especially with the black one, I hope there was a little bit more, because when you like check this out, there's a little bit visible when I have a white background, but not too much, but maybe a half double would have given a little bit more volume to the stitches. But on the other hand, I wanted to keep this very simple as possible. So nothing is more simple than single crochet, to be honest. And just to clarify, I use US terms. Those are the ones I learned when I first delved into English language instructions when it comes to crochet. I am from Finland, so that's what I learned. And the Finnish terms are weird, to be honest, compared to the other languages, so it's not like I could directly translate, so I didn't really actually know at first that there's a difference between UK and US terms. But because I learned the US terms first, I've kept to those. I know the UK terms as well, of course, but just to let you guys know, so you don't get mixed with if you're trying to recreate something I've done. I sometimes forget to check the terminology used myself, and that has created some very fun situations when it comes to projects. Mainly that I've done a project using US double crochet, and it was actually UK double crochet, which is single crochet, and yep, I messed things up. There's actually two black ones with this. And then 4. and yellow. And I need to change the graph so I can see it. I've also think about making some tapestry with different textures lately, not just pictures, but different textures as well. Because I find it interesting looking. I've checked the other people's work, like if you use a very thin and then very thick yarn or different stitches. More of an like an abstract type of thing rather than actual picture. Deep concentration mode, but please feel free to ask anything that comes to your mind. Happy to offer the best answers possible if I have answers. more coffee. But don't worry, it's just my 4th cup today. Not gonna be my last though. Sorry, doctor. That's the Finnish side of me. There's never enough coffee. Or there is enough, but there's never too much. Maybe that's the better way of reviewing my coffee drinking habit. Time for the orange flower. And I designed these flowers, I was very happy with them. I would now make a couple of changes when it comes to the thickness of the lines, so maybe I would make it a little more simple to make sure I have at least 2 stitches of each color I'm using. So I would leave out the single stitches color changes, because they can go invisible in this type of work, so it's basically, well, for nothing. So might as well not, but I will definitely otherwise use these designs in the future as well with different work, so I don't always have to start from the beginning when I'm doing things, so I can just copy paste these designs and make new ones. As well as the new pansy design I made. For some reason flowers are now something I want to make, even though we're getting to winter, not summer. But the good thing is that maybe I do have some flowers ready for the summer when the time comes. color change to white, and then we will go with the white border until the end, and then we are done with this one. We're actually making pretty good progress today. This is the 5th row today, and as we have the 50 row goal for the weekend and Monday, plus Monday, I'm off for Monday as well, we are going to make it if we keep it up. Where's the 4th one? Anyway, I have to check that one. I will check where we started once I stop and check where we ended, not counting too much. I'm gonna make as much as possible in the first days to make sure that if I do burn out, and I don't want to do this, I have as much as possible done. Right now I feel good. Right now I feel like I could do this many hours, but it can change in a heartbeat. And I'm not in the habit of making myself do things I don't want to do. This is not a commission work. This is not a piece that I've sold. This is piece for my daughter, so I don't have to stress about it. So I refuse to stress about it. And that's my philosophy for making things. I do what I want to do so it doesn't get unpleasant, which I think is the thing with these. So if I just force myself to do this, and then it won't be fun anymore, and then I will stop. And when I stop, there's no guarantee I will pick it up ever again. I once made a sock, forced myself to make it. It was a like over knee sock I wanted for myself, and it was already cold weather, so I decided I was in a hurry and I pushed myself to do it. I finished one and never started the other until 2 years later. So we are trying to avoid that pace for this work by pacing ourselves based on our moods and feelings when we're doing this, because I just don't want to. Oh, by the way, I have unused white yarn here, which I forgot to cut away, so I can just now remove it. I try to keep the extra yarns minimal, so because it's a mess anyway. Yeah, but to get back to the point, I try to pace myself so that I don't burn myself out with this. Because if I do, that's gonna be the end of it, or I will pick it up like next time in 2 years, and that's a whole nother problem if I ran out of yarn and stuff like that. Might be that the yarn is not available anymore, or the colors have changed, or I don't remember which yarn I used, which book I used, which chart I used, and so on. So we try not to stress about it at the moment. This is my hobby and I try to keep it nice. So we clean up, well, clean up is a wrong word for this though. We just secure the ends with some knots. Nothing special, not too tight, because then the work will be disordered. Just make sure that it doesn't unravel, that's all you have to do. You don't have to weave in the end, you don't have to do anything like that, just secure it well enough. I've heard someone secures it with glue, and I might as well do that at some point if I decide I don't want to take any chances, which is possible, but I haven't decided yet. For now, while working on it, it's been well enough to just make sure that the ends do not run away, and the knots have been good enough for that. And I don't see that changing because we are almost 150 rows down the line. It's not according to the rules of crochet, but we're breaking every other rule here as well, so might as well break this one. If it was for sale or commission, which I don't usually even do, I would pay more attention. This is for myself, or not for me, but for the family, so therefore I don't stress about it too much. The looks of the back side of the work are not important at this moment. Oh yeah, I need to update the chart to next round. It's mostly black, white and yellow at the moment. Which is because we are at the middle of the work with the lettering rather than flowers. So once you've done the letters, the Fleetwood Mac is written, then we will go back to more flowers that are on top of the design. But for now you are forced to look at the boring part, which is okay for me because it's a very complicated mess of a yarn when you have like 4 different colored flowers going on, like I had at the beginning. So the rows took much longer than these ones because you really had to pay attention with the color changes and the number of stitches you have per color. And you could have like, this is 260 stitches, and you could have like 50 color changes per row, so you kind of have to be on the right mood to do that as well. It was fun at first when I was learning, you know. Now that I approximately know what I'm doing, it's not that hard anymore, so it became annoying. And that's why I'm happy I'm at this part of the process right now. And then maybe I'm over it when we get back to the flower section, so I'm able to do it again. It's fun work at times, not so fun at others. So, but I guess someone somewhere at some time said that with art becomes some suffering. So if it was all fun, maybe it wasn't worth it. So trying to stay optimistic. I'm gonna film dozens of videos from this one, and I'm gonna absorb every positive comment people have to say about it, so that I can have energy to do the next one, which I will do with a bit different technique, because this single crochet back loop only, it's a bit of like minimizing the work, if that's what I can call it. If I would do back and forth with full single crochet, it would be a lot bigger. So I'm gonna have less stitches next on the next project, and I'm still thinking if I'm gonna do back loop only, or if I'm gonna do just normal single crochet. I may have to test out the color changes as well with that one. And I'm also choosing a bit thicker yarn with it, so it's gonna be the, not this, but the 8/6 cotton, which is a bit thicker one, not much but a bit. And I'm also gonna do half a size larger hook. So it should be approximately the same size, even though it has less stitches. I'm also testing out if I have to add some cross stitches, which is not something I'm against. If the color changes are not perfect, I will add some cross stitching to make them more precise if I need to. Don't know if I need to, but then that remains to be seen. I'm willing to try. And here I am talking about the next project, even though we're just halfway through this one and we have like 40 hours left. But that's who I am. Always have to have something coming up as well. Like a planning process going on in my head. This is the last round with the brown center of this flower. So this is also coming to an end. And then it will be a couple of rounds just white, black and yellow until we start with the flowers again. No, I need black, not this one. I keep hitting the mic, so please let me know if you can hear me anymore. It's on top of my black yarn, so I should probably move the yarn or the mic, but I'm used to it now, so I can't do that. Need to change the position of the craft. Moving on to black and yellow. This looks a bit like neon yellow on the live, but it's actually very nice yellow, so it's not that bright. The colors are not quite correct. It is bright, but it is not neon yellow. Two, three, four, five. This one, and then we have a new black section coming up. With 2 stitches, we will start the letters are coming on nicely, so you can almost read what it says already. Nope, one more. I think this is our last round because I'm starting to make mistakes. That means that I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing, which is not good because that will end up at some point me missing the mistake I'm making and keep going. It's been just 2 hours. I think I should be able to go with more. Let's see. I need to move the graph again. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Not orange yet. I need 4 black ones before then. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then some orange. Now we need more white. I'll take a new skein. So we're starting a white thingy here. We also have another one coming up, which I think we will also attach another skein. It's 1, 2, and 3 white ones. Two black ones. Two black ones, and then we start another white section. Let's take more white yarn. This will also go straight up this section, that's why I will attach another yarn and I will leave it there. Where's my phone? Just a moment, please. Yes. Sorry about that. That was the second child coming home and just calling because she's hungry. Let's finish this round, and I think that's the time for us today. I would have liked to make a bit more, but it is what it is. Family life and all, and I will get back to it on the evening. I will stream if I feel like it. I won't if I don't, but we'll check what's the situation at that point, because I will have to make like over 10 rows every day to meet the target I set for myself, and we are now, I don't know, I lost count. I think this is 5 or 6 for today, which is, well, it's good. And I do have some free time during the evening when the kids go to sleep and stuff, so I will probably continue then, so that I can make more progress. I also need to clean up the yarns a little bit, because I feel like I'm not in full control of where everything goes at the moment. I don't like the feeling. The work is growing bigger and bigger, so I might roll it up a bit to make it easier to manage. But right now we just speed to the end. We're gonna be happy we made this many rounds. We made progress. Let's do this. I'll take a final look where we got today within this session. At latest, we'll be back streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna stream a bit later because it's weekend and I'm gonna have to go to the city center to get the yarn. the black one. I am, and I want to do it tomorrow. I don't have enough yarn for the whole work because I already know that I've used more than half and I have over half left to do. So I do need to buy more. And I think I need 2 skeins. So that one is not enough. So I'm gonna take 2, partly for the just in case reasons. If I mess something up, I have extra. Like that. And then we will do some cleaning up as per usual. I'm trying to tighten the ends a little bit, make knots where we need them. And as I said, this weekend my office / bedroom is out of limit, so I don't have to actually clean these up. I can leave them on my desk. There's no entry for others. These will stay, just a little tightening up. The new white sections. The orange won't stay, so this one we will cut. And secure from the end from the last round. And again, not too tight. This is just to make sure it doesn't run away, not to do anything else. I don't have a yarn buddy for this until next round. This will stay. The yellow won't stay, so I will cut it out. There. And use the yarn from last round to, should have said you didn't see anything. My position wasn't correct. Though I presume you can do some knots. This is nothing special. The black one was attached here, but until next round I don't have way to secure it. This is where we ended with the black one last round. I will make a knot here. Just with soft hands. When you overdo it, you will see it on the other side, and that's not very nice. Not the purpose of this. Also, if you make it too tight, you will find it very hard to work this stitch next round. These will all stay. As I stated, the brown one is now gone. The middle of the flower is done, so I can remove it all together. So the brown one is leaving now. Until next time. These will all stay. Just tighten them up a little bit, and the final knot here with the black and white exchanged. It was very nice having you all here today. And I wish all of you a great Friday, great weekend, and I will do the same tomorrow, and except it's gonna be Saturday. And we are here. I think I will be coming back on the afternoon, approximately, depending on how the food deliveries and everything works. So if you want to get notified when I come, hi Isabella, when I come online and I live stream, you should subscribe, follow, whatever, wherever you are, so you get a notification when I come back live tomorrow. So for Isabella, we're actually ending the stream right now. So the kids just got home and they're hungry, so it's time to make some food and prepare for the weekend. And the work is here. Doesn't really fit the screen in any way, but here it is, and we will continue it tomorrow. So until tomorrow,